Hello there, guys. Hopefully, you guys are doing amazing. I want us to reflect what actually happened today on Tuesday, the 7th of October. And really, I had sent my notes over here early in the morning via my Telegram channel. This is what I told my group that I have been bullish on, I was bullish on NQ. So this is the note that I sent, and I told you where I was to react from, and I'll wait and see if a 1 hour bearish fair value gap is formed, and then later observe how the market reacts to the FEG for me to engage. For now, at that moment in time, I wasn't really interested. This has been my EU short. I finally managed to get some EU buys. When I reflect on all these, so this is the note that I had written in the morning. I wanted to see how price was to react above these candles high, and if we drop to the lower time frame, I will show you also the 1 hour bearish fair value gap I was talking about. If we formed that and if we disrespected that, then how would I engage with price? So early in the morning, as you've seen from this screenshot, is that what we had, you can see the candle that was printing at that moment in time. We hadn't really closed. This candle hadn't really closed, so it closed, created an immediate rebalance. We did have some small rejection. So to me, I was saying, if indeed we are bullish, what I really want to see is a nice displacement above these candles high. That's why you can see I have a small line there. So going onto the lower time frames, let's see what happened. So at that moment in time, what you did see is we had this bearish fair value gap that was formed. So the market traded into with this candle. We didn't really reject off to push prices towards this low. This was the first indicator that somehow, yeah, it can be intriguing that we have buys. I didn't really engage with this candle right here. I waited for this next candle to see the reaction. Then we formed a fair value gap, and now I wanted to see the market sting into the fair value gap and close above this high for me to be bullish. And what I was to target was this high. What happened, that didn't actually happen immediately. We saw a drop during the London session, and then later at the end of the London session, that's when we saw this candle closing above this high. So with that, I now knew that market is actually displacing, and I dropped further into the 15 minutes time frame to see actually how I can take advantage of that push going higher. So the 15 minutes time frame printed was actually printing nice, so we pushed higher. We formed that fair value gap as the market was trading into this fair value gap, knowing that we had swapped liquidities. We have this market structure shift, we have this fair value gap also showing signs of displacement. Immediately the second fair value gap was formed. I think my first level to I was to enter was this candle before it displaced, though it hadn't really closed there, but because we had formed a market structure shift with this nice displacement, this is the level, but wasn't really there. Came later on, found it there, entered at the fair value gap. We consolidated around this area because we all know this as a resistance which happens pump in the road resistance, whereby we tend to consolidate then expand. So the market actually later on expanded going higher, and as this candle was printing, I added my another position there. Then the market actually spooled. We swept immediately the all-time highs, and one thing did happen. If you can notice, my TP wasn't really triggered for the first position, so I took it out around somewhere here. I took it out somewhere around here immediately after I was seeing that the structure was turning bearish, which happened to be a good exit point, because I would have actually been taken out at break even. And after holding this position for morning, that really couldn't really feel good. So I did manage to profit with this 2R and maybe 1 point something R over here. I did close it around here, then the market actually tanked lower. So that was how I did do my analysis. And maybe next time, something, how can I refine maybe my stops to have a good 1 to 2 hours maybe in case. So would I have actually had my stop loss below this candle low, right? Because if I had actually had it there, then my 1 to 2 would have actually been triggered earlier on. But yeah, that happened, and was a good trade. But since I got this 1 to 2 hour, I think it compensated for uh, some part that I missed. But then the market dropped lower, which we're gonna be reflecting later on maybe what would happen, or as of tomorrow and going forward. But okay, before even we go to EU, let's try to see what has actually happened over here. And now I think I'll get rid of my notes. And if you're not in my Telegram channel, and you really want to join these ranks exam, or you can just DM me, and I'll actually give you my I'll share the link so that you may be joining in. So what we're seeing is we actually didn't run the all-time highs. What we've been doing is we have been sweeping that, and now we did displace lower. We might be having a possible for bearish fair value gap over here, right over here. And I think now the market, what the market will be trying to do is be reacting of this fair value gap, and maybe targeting these lows over here. And these are the levels. Now we want to see how price will react onto that, because if we fail to displace through them and we start running sweeping, then I will be waiting. But if we start running through these lows, then the next liquidity will be these lows right here. But all these is dependent on how price reacts to this low. If we start sweeping, maybe we need to be very patient and see whether the market will continue higher to make all-time highs. But if that fails, then we can expect also maybe a drop going lower. But since the market has been so bullish, I don't want yet to be targeting or to be turning bearish yet, until maybe we've seen the daily confirm that indeed we are bearish. That's when we'll want to engage. So we might just have a rejection, maybe fake some sellers, because there are some people trying to call the high at this point in time. Then of that, we can see maybe they're expecting lower prices, and those will jump in earlier on. Maybe the market will also catch up with them. So what I'll actually want to see is a scene like this, right? That's, I will let that daily fair value gap be. I'll want to see if indeed we are bullish, right? If indeed we are bullish, because I don't want to get involved in sales for now. I want to see a sting into this fair value gap, then price to drop lower, sweep these lows, forming bearish fair value gaps at this point in time. Then after the sweep, the market starts disrespecting these bearish fair value gaps that has been formed. We form bullish fair value gaps, and then we continue to the next all-time high. So that's what maybe somehow, if indeed we're gonna be bullish, that's what I will be expecting. We see maybe the market trading in back into this fair value gap, a drop to sweep these liquidities, right? Because this can be just a fake move to just trigger or to give the sellers some push, right? Or to that hype that indeed we are selling. Maybe we sweep the lows, then if indeed we start being bullish, start disrespecting bearish fair value gaps, and also form bullish fair value gaps, then we can engage again to back to the all-time highs. But if we start running through these lows, forming bearish fair value gaps, then we can expect to see this type of market, a bearish one to these lows. So that's what will be maybe kind of looking at, right? there we'll be looking at, but leaning more of bullish. But also, if we actually don't run these rows, we might also form the previous day's low, of which we might sweep, right here. We might also sweep today's low. Tomorrow the candle opens in 1 hour 29 minutes. We might actually sweep today's low, and then the market actually starts disrespecting these bearish fair value gap. So there are lots of scenarios that can happen, but until we have bearish fair value gaps being disrespected, I don't think I can engage in anything other than longs. For now, I just wait for price to tell me what it's likely to do. I think ES is equally same to NAS. NAS is equally same to ES. We swept all the all-time highs. We have swept now the prior day's low. Now we want to see, can we also sweep today's low for ES to continue higher, or what is likely to happen. So we'll be watching on that. More of NQ. NQ has been clear for me, and I've actually benefited on Monday and Tuesday of that. And if we talk about EU is nicely dropping lower. I think I did also do a review on it earlier on. If I can take you to the Telegram. So I started with EU. EU, I said, good morning, fellow chatsmen. EU price had a deep retracement, thus nullifying yesterday bearish pricing of the 4-hour fair value gap, right? I guess you can see the 4-hour bearish fair value gap. Price had a deep retracement into it. Today I'm watching how price reacts to the current 4-hour candle low. So I guess you can see the current or the last candle whenever the market was printing at the time I took the screenshot. That's the low I marked up, and I was watching how, because we had already traded into that bullish fair value gap. If the market was to be bullish, wanted to see that 4-hour bullish fair value gap. Let's see, this is the bearish fair value gap I'm talking about. We have this bearish fair value gap from this can't sleep instead of counting sheep, nigga. All right, so the bearish fair value gap that we'd seen a deep retracement into was this fair value gap from this candle's low to this candle's high. That's the fair value gap that we saw this candle really retrace deep into, because I was watching that fair value gap yesterday for a sell-off towards these lows and also these lows, but actually that didn't happen. We saw deep retracement, then we formed another bullish fair value gap. Now this bullish fair value gap wanted to see if we were to break through this high, right, and start running it. I would have expected to see the market rally to those highs. But also I was watching the 4-hour candle low. This is the candle that was to print, how price was to react to it. And if we start running, then most definitely I was expecting a drop onto this or to this. So that's why you can see I had already those sketchy drawings on there, which are also retained until now. And what eventually did happen is we ran through, not far, far later, we ran through those lows, and then I got it at this point, entered my sell position, and was a 1 to 2. And yeah, you can see currently we are close proximity to TP being met. I think one of my positions TP was at this low, and everything has actually moved. I moved my stops lower because to accommodate this other low, which I think are gonna be run. And yeah, that was my position, and everything I think is ideally good. I might also expect a deeper drop towards this low, but I don't know what will happen. I don't want to move my TP anymore. I think at that point in time, everything is cool. Yeah, I don't want to move anything. I want to collect my profits, and maybe tomorrow, if we have another opportunity, then maybe we can expect I had a note there which I'm noticing, maybe was for what I went wrong. It was a journal for another time, but in this zone what you're having is some low resistance liquidity run. We can expect just the market to open tomorrow and tank lower really heavily. That's what I'm seeing of tomorrow. We might tank really heavily. We might be targeting these lows as well. Yeah, I think as for me, the market is really bearish. And now it's a matter of determining, maybe can I hold a trade for long? Can I just maybe wait until maybe price gives me another opportunity? What I'll do is just wait for another opportunity tomorrow, call it a day at this point, and we'll see what will be happening. And I think I called down even this bearish move earlier on. If we can check this group, yeah, I think, let's see, yes, this was during the weekend. All right, DXY had gold, yes, and then Q. I think I did I hadn't really started sharing that, but I think I have some screenshots over here when was analyzing these. So this movement, I had seen it. This EU, as you can see from the 1 hour time frame, wanted to see off that bag. Because if you go to the 1 hour time frame, off the bag, these breakaway gap, wanted to see this drop, and it has actually printed nicely going lower. So yeah, I think that's all for these, and I'm expecting lower prices for EU and GU, though GU is relatively weaker compared to EU. So maybe tomorrow we might be looking for opportunities for using GU. We can trade EU, because for GU we have some nice equal lows below here that I can target. We have some equal lows over here that we can target, and wherever the market is, you can see we have some nice trading opportunities. So same to these, but kind of weaker. Gold, I don't want to look at gold for now. What I will be focusing on will be NQ for buys and for sells. 50-50 for now, but we will identify what will be happening. So that is it for this video. Hopefully you got it amazing, and be blessed by the best. Till next time.